Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Mass Appeal on this beautiful Thursday. I'm Ashley Cole. Seth Stepman is off this week. He's on vacation, but I'm joined by Jim Helms and his dog, Booker. Great to have you here, Jim.
How's it going? Booker's happy. He's all relaxed.
Well, your dogs are always well behaved and happy. That proves that you're a great dog owner. Of course, we know our dogs are man's best friend, and they're part of the family. But a lot of people think that they can't hug like a strange dog that they meet, or they think that you can't eat in front of your dog, or you have to walk into your house first. So many myths surrounding dogs that you are going to basically debunk today.
I hope so. Get rid of some of them.
I hope so too. So we've got a lot to get through. Now the first myth is, do your dogs feel love? Is
yes.
that true? Okay. I think we all can assume that.
I think that's easy. There's a lot of scientific evidence out there now that actually does show that dogs do feel emotions, and that's why we can build such bonds with them.
And you do feel it. I mean, you know that feeling when they come up and lay with you on the couch at night.
And they're so happy to see you when you come home and snuggle with you, and oh yeah.
Exactly. So we know that they do feel love. Can you eat dinner in front of your dog?
Yes, absolutely. A lot of people now, we'll talk about the pack mentality. Everybody's afraid of, oh, I have to eat first before my dog. I can't feed my dog until after, that type of stuff. But I mean, just have them follow the rules, whatever your rules are. My rules are my dogs have to be so far away from the dinner table. And when I'm done, they normally get some scraps.
See? So they get treated, but they have to follow the rules while you're eating.
They have to follow the rules.
But it's okay to eat. You don't have to be feeding them at the same time.
No, you do not.
Okay. The next myth, a tail wag always means a happy dog.
That's a really big one right now because everybody thinks that. I don't know how many times I've walked into people and say, oh, my dog is really good, he's wagging his tail, but then he attacks a dog. Well, the problem is a lot of times you got to look at not just the tail, you have to look at the rest of the body. What are the eyes telling you? What are the ears telling you? What are the lips telling you? Are they up? Are they stiff? Is the dog standing still? So, and is the tail moving fast? Is it moving slow? Is it high? There's a lot to read into a tail. So just a wagging tail does not mean a good dog. Okay,
a happy dog, right. So make sure that you pay attention to their body language. Dogs eat grass only when they are sick. Is that true or false?
False.
Okay.
A lot of dogs just like to chew on grass. It's just good, especially when it's wet. But some of the new stuff that I've actually been reading, dogs really do need certain types of things that they get from plants. And normally, I don't want to be gross here, but if they were living in the wild and they were to kill an animal, they would eat what's in that stomach. All right, so they get some chlorophyll and some other things. It's actually good for them.
Really?
And they can't open the refrigerator, so what they have available to them is grass.
It'd be impressive if they could open the refrigerator, but it's okay for them to eat it.
Yes. And it's, I mean, you don't want them eating a ton of it, and sometimes if they have an upset stomach, they will eat it to actually help them vomit, but it's not just because they're sick. Sometimes they just enjoy doing it.
Okay, that's great to know. Letting your dog run around the yard outside is enough exercise.
Not even for small dogs.
Really?
No. You cannot get enough exercise, and that's why a lot of our dogs right now are overweight. Because we think, oh, we've got it in the fenced-in yard, they go outside, they play outside for an hour. A lot of times dogs get bored and they just lay around the yard. They're not really exercising. I mean, my dogs go outside and they're active dogs. They lay out on the deck in the sun and they don't do anything.
They're just, the dog days of summer, isn't that why they call them that?
Right. So it's not enough exercise. And even walking your dog on leash, in most cases, is not enough exercise. They really need to be able to run and stretch their legs for a long distance.
And that goes for any size dog?
Any size dogs.
You mentioned overweight dogs. Can you actually have an overweight dog if you use food to train them? Or will training them with food result in an overweight dog?
It can, so that's a maybe.
Okay.
And the reason I say that, it depends on what kind of treats you use. What do you do? I mean, my dogs get treats all the time. I wear a treat bag with me, especially in an environment like this. I regulate their food, so they may get less food at morning or dinner because I've used a lot of treats during the day. And I also try to use low-calorie treats, so don't go buy a bunch of stuff in the stores that are a lot of corn and garbage in them. I mean, carrots are great treats, broccoli, I mean, meat ends, better protein, so it's not so bad and not so fat for the dogs.
So it's just being conscious of what they're eting during the day.
Correct.
So that you make sure that you're not feeding them too much.
Yep, there's no reason our dogs should ever be fat. If somebody could control my diet, I'd lose some weight too.
But it is okay to train them with treats, so long as you're conscious of all the other food that they're eating.
Yes.
Great. We've got a lot more tips and myths to uncover. So if people are wondering if your dog really likes to be hugged or if a random dog likes to be hugged, well, you're going to have to wait. We're going to reveal that answer a little later in the show. Thanks so much, Booker.
Thanks.
And Jim, you're always well behaved too. We are back with Jim Helms from Jim Helms Dog Pals, and he has his dog Booker because we're talking about myths about dogs. Now, we uncovered some of them earlier in the show, but now we're going to talk about some more. Now, all dogs like to be petted on their head. Is that a true or false statement?
False. Most dogs actually do not want to be touched on their head. And in the dog world and body communications, that's actually a sign of aggressiveness. So when you go to approach that dog, a lot of dogs will move away, and they may even show their teeth because they don't want you doing that. If you start off with a puppy, you can get them to understand in the humans, because we always do that. We come right in, right towards our dogs, and like I say, that's aggressive. If we teach them young, they'll learn to accept it.
I never knew that, and when you do go up to a strange dog or a dog that is walking down the street, you go and you just pet their head.
Yep.
So don't. Where should you pet them?
Always start on the side, probably like underneath the ears, underneath the neck. It's a lot safer and a lot better, and the dogs tolerate it a lot better, especially if they don't know you.
The next myth, dogs see in black and white. Is that true or false?
We used to believe that. Now we found out that no, that's not true. They don't see in as many colors as we do, but we do suspect that they can see some colors. So it's not black and white and gray like we used to think. They do see some color.
They do. It's such a mystery. If only we could see through the eyes of our dogs. Really
I wish I could speak to them and understand what they're thinking.
If only one day, right? I'm sure that technology will come down the road. The next myth, you should never play tug of war with your dog.
I think that's one of the biggest negatives there is. We should be playing tug. When I play tug with my dogs, I can teach them to sit, to stay, to take, to play, to let go. I can get them some exercise. We talked about, can exercising in the backyard be enough? No. Well, on a rainy day, I can play a great game of tug with my dog, and it's really, really good for them.
So
it doesn't make them aggressive. You want to teach them, again, our human rules, but it's a great game.
All right, this is the big one that a lot of people think. Your dogs age 7 years to every human year. We talk about dog years multiplied by 7, right?
Again, it used to be that was the common. Now we found it doesn't work that way. Different tables will tell you different things, but right now we're basically saying that first year is anywhere from 12 to 15 years of age. Their second year, they're going to be probably around 24, and then they actually start going every 4 years. So
it's a little more complicated than we had thought.
A little bit more complicated.
Okay,
yeah.
Good to know. So it seems like they age a little faster in the beginning and then slower as it goes on.
So by the time they're 2 years old, they're around 24 in terms of human ages.
Now this is one of the last ones. We've got 2 more left. This one, I think most people would not think it's false. You must be the pack leader in your home. I think we've always been told as dog owners, you are the leader. Is that true or false?
We want to be a leader. We want to be able to take charge. But I try to tell people you want to be either that parent-child, and I'm not even really liking that one that much. It's more of the boss-employee type relationship, a respectful relationship. The reason I don't like the child is because I think dogs are pretty smart, and they can be better than most children. I love my dogs.
Depending on your dog, I suppose, right?
But the problem with the pack mentality, everybody's heard of that pack roll. They throw their dog down, they grab its neck when it's on its belly, and we're the pack leader. The dog can't go out before us humans. Dogs want to go outside because they want to go outside. You're in the way. They just want to go out and play. They're not trying to take charge because they're going out the door first.
Right.
So that pack mentality is totally wrong. Again, you need to be that leader and have a respectful relationship with your dog.
Very good. And the last one, dogs like to be hugged, right?
No, it's that same thing. If you hug your dog, what are you doing? Realistically, you're restraining your dog. And a lot of dogs basically have two thought processes, either fight or flight if they're in danger. So if you're restraining them, what choice do they have but to fight? Again, if you start early, you can get your dog to accept that hug. But I have literally seen hundreds of pictures on Facebook and all over the place where the kid is hugging the dog and the parent's going, oh, look, they have a great relationship. The dog is accepting that hug, but if you look at the dog's face, they might see the white of the eyes, they may be yawning, that tongue
Let go of me.
Yeah, let go of me. And that's what they're telling us. And most humans don't realize that.
Wow, just learned a lot about how dogs think and the myths about dogs. So thanks so much, Jim. All these tips will be on our website, mymansfield.com later today. Thanks so much, Jim. Thanks, Booker.
Thank you. Thanks.